I'll tell you guys a little bit more about my story, my battles with OCD, and how John kind of turned the page for me. So, when I was in middle school, elementary school, I was a pretty normal guy, pretty funny kid. Liked to play Little League, do all this stuff. Was in the school plays because my mom made me do that. Did all this, did all that. I was a normal guy. And I remember one night we were out on vacation in California. Family vacation. Got a little sister who's here, an older brother, my mom, my dad. And we were out in California. I just remember I was born in a very religious family. And I said nightly prayers every night before I went to bed. And I remember one night specifically, I couldn't stop praying because I kept having this thought that the devil kept popping into my head when I was praying. And if the devil's popping into my head while I'm praying, that means the devil's contaminating the people I'm praying for, which means I have to start over or someone's going to get hurt. So I kept doing this, and going, and it took me 45 minutes to finish my prayers. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then it happened the next night, and 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 there were no nights off with this. And it started to get to my head a little bit. I thought I was out of my mind. I thought I was crazy because for all I know, I was crazy. Who the hell has these type of thoughts, right? Who has thoughts of the devil when they're praying? Who has these intrusive thoughts? Who thinks that their mother, their sister's going to get hurt because you're having these thoughts? I mean, I'm sure as hell thought no one else did. So I thought I was alone, and then finally went to, I guess my mom took me to get diagnosed, and they said I had OCD. And then I found out that John Kelly had OCD. And for those of you, as you saw, John Kelly was my brother's best friend growing up. And so I remember when Mrs. Kelly told my mom, John reached out right to me, and we talked about it. I was like, John, do you have these weird thoughts about the devil and stuff like this? All the time, dude. Like, the devil's nothing. I was like, really? Like, you have thoughts about, if you walk in and out of the door and someone's going to get hurt and the building's going to fall on your head and you're going to kill your teacher by accident because the door was there? Cake. Always. And he made me feel so normal. And he made this feel like this was nothing that was a big deal. He made this feel like this was something that happens to everyone. He made it feel like, all right, John, maybe I'm not that crazy. Maybe I am, just a normal guy with some of these issues, right? And as I kept going, as I got older and older, my OCD got progressively better and better. I started seeing therapists. I talked to John all the time. He would take me out. He would always go get Chinese food. He talked to me about life. He talked to me about girls. He talked to me about all this, all that. And I remember just being in his Jeep, and we'd be driving around my block, and he'd drive me around like 35 times before he dropped me off, just because we had that much to talk about, and we had that much in common. And things were going good. I remember one time in particular, we were upstate in the country, which is what we call it. This is a place where me and my friends, we all go to unwind a little bit and have a good time. And I remember we were playing beer pong, and we were on the same team, and we were just messing with the other team. We were saying, we're Team ERP, which is a form of cognitive behavioral therapy. We were just screaming Team ERP, in people's faces. What the hell is wrong with these two people? He made me feel so normal. I could joke about this, and I could think that this is nothing. I could think that this is all fine. And that was who John Kelly was. He was there to make you feel comfortable. He didn't care about himself. I don't think I ever genuinely saw him put himself first. Ever. I mean, that's crazy. Think about that. I'm not just saying that, I'm not just saying that to say that. I don't think I ever remember a time where he put himself before myself. And maybe it was because I was like a little brother to him, and maybe it was because he cared that much. Maybe it was because he was one of the best people that I've ever known. But he never put himself first. He always put others first. And that was something that always really inspired me, and always kind of I wish I could be like that. Always put others first. Just be like John, always put others first. Help someone out. As I got older and older, my OCD, I guess, got better and better. And then I remember my junior year, things weren't going that well with John, as we knew, but he was very quiet about it. He would never tell me when things were going wrong. He'd only tell me when things were going right because he didn't want to scare me. He didn't want anything to get in my way of getting over this disorder and living a normal life, because that's just who he was. He put others first. And I remember my junior year, February of my junior year, I had my best friend's birthday party. I went out there, we had a great weekend, had a few drinks, had a lot of fun. You just turned 21. I got back, made a bowl of pasta with butter. I remember it so vividly. Bowl of pasta with butter, about 10 o'clock, went upstairs, took a shower, let the water come down, and all of a sudden, I felt a numbing feeling over my body. And all of a sudden, I felt like I was losing control. I was like, what the hell is going on? And all of a sudden, all these terrible thoughts just started rushing through my head all at once. I remember thinking, am I going to kill myself? Am I going to die? Is everything around me real? What's wrong? What's wrong with me? And I just had this breakdown in the shower. And this is, I was such a quote-unquote normal kid. I already come far. I already fought the shit out of this OCD. I already overcome so much in my life. And all of a sudden, this is coming. Why? What is this? What does this mean? Why can't I control what I'm thinking right now? I have friends, I have a family. I don't. Why is this happening? Like, what's wrong with me? And I remember getting out of the shower, trying to calm down, and saying, "All right, John, you're gonna be okay. Like, it's nothing. It's no big deal." And then I went to bed that night. I woke up the next morning, and the feeling was there, but it was worse because I still had no idea what the heck was going on in my head, and I had no idea why this was happening, and I had no idea if it was going to get worse and worse and worse, or if it would ever get better at all. And that month went on, and I just tried to hide my pain so much. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't even tell John. I remember having a brief conversation with John, and I told him, he goes, we got on Facebook. He would always randomly message me on Facebook. That was his thing. It always just pop up, a little John Kelly with a little photo would pop up. And he'd be like, John, like, what's going on? Like, how are you? And I remember there was one time, it was in late February of 2011, and I was like, John, like, the OCD's tough, man. I don't know what's going on. And he was like, yeah, man, I feel it. Like, it's been a little tough lately, but, keep fighting the fight. That's what I always say. Just keep fighting the fight. You'll be all right, John. Just keep fighting the fight. And that's what I tried to do, but even that conversation didn't do much for me. I forgot about it the next day, and it just kept going through this little spiral. And then I remember I went on spring break with my father and my best friend from school, besides Eric, But one of my best friends from school, I went on vacation with. We went to see the Mets. I'm a big Met fan. We went to spring training, a nice little event with your dad and your best friend, right? And I get there, and I remember the whole time, this should be like the best time of my life. It should be unwinding, relaxing, and all I can think about, we're 4 stories up, all I can think about, what if I accidentally jump off this hotel room? What if I accidentally jump off this? And the thing is, this is the last thing I wanted to do. There was nothing in my body, in my soul, in my heart that wanted to jump off this bridge, but for some reason, my mind kept saying these irrational thoughts, and it kept intruding and intruding and intruding, and all I wanted to do was stop. And I didn't know how to make it stop because I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I remember being at dinner, and there was a knife, and I was like, what if I just cut myself? What if I do that right now in front of everyone? Like, John, what the hell are you saying? Like, what are you saying right now? Like, think what you're saying right now. Then it would come back. The thought would come back, and it would control you. It would haunt you. And then finally, I remember I got home from vacation that night. It was March 27th, and I finally cried to my mom. I was like, Mom, I think my OCD's back. I don't really know what to do. I don't know how to get through this. I don't know what to do. I think I got to see therapy again. And I remember my dad being like, oh, not again. Like, this again. And my mom was really upset, and I remember going to bed that night thinking I was hearing like voices, and it was just awful. I woke up in the middle of the night, about 5 a.m., I guess closer to the morning, not the middle of the night, but 5 a.m., and I remember standing in front of the toilet, about to go to the bathroom, and I just remember thinking, like, what do I do? Like, how can I keep living like this? How can I keep going? How am I going to keep going? Like, I can't. This is getting so bad. I don't know what to do. And meanwhile, on the outside, everyone sees the same Jolly John just smiling and doing his thing. But on the inside, I was eating myself up. And it was tough. And then I remember I got back to school that day. And I got a phone call from my best friend. He's like, hey, can you talk for a second? And he called me and he goes, John Kelly killed himself. And I'll never be able to explain on how, like, the last night of his life ended up being the worst night of mine. It was almost like he was with me trying to tell me that I had something to do. So it was tough. And it wasn't just tough on me, it was tough on everyone. It was tough on the people with OCD. It was tough on the people that that knew John were wondering, why the heck did John do this? Why did he do this? And I'm sitting there trying to say, because he was suffering. No one knew what was going on in his head. And it was so hurtful to see all these people say, why did he kill himself? Why did he do this? Such a good family, and such a good life. Why would someone do this to themselves? When I'm sitting there knowing, all right, I know I know how you're feeling, John. I know that pain that you go through sometimes. And it was just brutal. And I just remember, though, 2 days later, after he died, I was having this dream. And I was in a bush for some reason. I don't know why I was in a bush. I was in a bush. And all of a sudden, John reached out. He grabbed my hand, pulled me up, and said, I'll always be there for you. And it felt so real. And I knew it was him. I knew it wasn't some sort of dream, because it just felt so real. And ever since that dream, I was inspired to make sure that myself, I do what I can do to never let his legacy die. And let him keep inspiring people even through his death the way he inspired me. Be someone's John Kelly. If I didn't have John Kelly in my life, I don't know where I'd be right now. I don't know if I'd be here right now. I don't know how I'd be here right now, but I know because of John, I am here in front of you guys with a chance to make a difference, hopefully, in someone's life tonight. Because there's probably someone that in this room that was going through the same exact thing that I was going through 4 years ago. And it's just, sorry. And it's just so powerful to know that you, by just being yourself, and by just being there for someone, can change or save someone's life without realizing it. If you could just be someone's friend, if you have OCD and you're scared right now and you don't know what's going on in your head and you don't know why this is going on in your head, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to get help. Speak to someone. Don't keep the thoughts inside like I did. Make sure you can talk to someone, because it'll drive you crazy. And you want to be able to, if you could open up and if you could talk to someone, how great would that be? Because then there's nothing to fear, because hey, these thoughts are normal. People don't realize these thoughts you're going through are completely normal. Everyone has them. But sometimes you don't realize they're normal because you're so scared of them. And you think that you're crazy. And you think that you're losing your mind. You think that there's no hope, when really there is. Someone's going through that with you. I'm going through that with you. I'm here for you. And if you're someone without OCD, if you're someone that maybe came here tonight not knowing a lick about John Kelly, not knowing a lick about mental health, know how much of an impact you could have on someone's life by just being a friend, by just smiling at someone, by just being there for that person, by just genuinely showing that you love them, by just being that friend and giving them the time of day, asking them, what's going on, why is this happening, can I do anything, is there anything I can do to help? Don't be afraid to be that friend, because you can save someone's life and you can have an impact that saves so many other lives. Because if you're saving one life, you're saving so many lives, because then their family's not going to be affected. They're still going to be there the next day. And it's all because you had the courage to be a friend. You had the courage to stick out. You had the courage not to be afraid. And you had the courage to be there for someone that really needed it. And if you're lost, never give up. Never give up, because as bad as it seems sometimes the world seems like it's going to spiral down on you, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Just be that mentor for someone. If you can, be someone's John Kelly, because your story could inspire someone else to live, and then their story could inspire someone else to live, and so on, and so on, and so on. And before you know it, people are inspiring everyone to live. Because by one little act of kindness, you could save a life. And there's a chain effect, and there's nothing more powerful than that. There's nothing more powerful than being there for someone. And that's why we're here. We're here today to show you that you can really have an impact. You have a chance. Our generation has a chance to really be the generation that makes change to mental health. Why should we hide these things? Why should we be afraid to talk about this? If I came here with a broken ankle, people would be like, oh, John, what happened? Why is your ankle hurting? And I tell them, oh, I was wasted. I fell. My buddy fell on me, and I broke my ankle. What's the big deal? It still hurts. And not the best analogy. But my whole point is, if your soul hurts, if your mind hurts, don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't be afraid to be there. Don't be afraid to talk about your story, because sharing your story, I can't reiterate it enough. You could save someone's life by just sharing your story. You don't know how powerful you are. You're so powerful. Everyone in this room is so powerful. You guys have a chance to really make an impact on the lives of so many other people by just being there, and by just being a friend, and by just sharing your story. We could change the way the world views mental health. We could change the way that people view OCD. We could change the way that people view society in general. It's such a powerful thing. We are our own tools, and we just have to be there for each other. And it's all, and I'm here because of John. And, I don't want to keep talking, but, if there's one thing that I want you guys to leave here with, is be there. Open up. Don't be afraid. Don't give up. And just always be there for someone. You never know what someone's going through, and you don't realize how powerful you really are. You're more powerful than any textbook. Don't be afraid to put life first. Be there. Be yourself. You matter so much.